Hey everybody, Gears here, and here's a recap of where everything stands. The entire project has not been pulled together into a single place at one time yet, until now. So where we're at here, the body is completely ready. It's been road tested, but not on video. It screams around real nice. The difference between the 14 volt and the 18 volt batteries is stunning. However, the ESC thinks that an 18 volt Makita is actually a dying 6S LiPo, so it shuts off to save the LiPo. This is a more modern release of an older ESC, the BLX 185, and the older models had a NIM option, nickel metal hydride, in their BIOS, essentially, to use some computer speak. And you could go in and tell the ESC whether you wanted or were using NIM or LiPos, and it would shut itself off at the appropriate voltage. Modern ones apparently don't do that because NIMs are either falling out of favor for whatever reason, but LiPo theoretically is the only option for this ESC right here, which means I can't run 18 volt on it. However, Makita also has these 14 volts, and I just got these 6 amp batteries in today, several of those. So next up I'll be doing some timing and endurance tests to see how that goes. I just got to find a place that I can run the thing. I also don't want to run it without a shell on it, so while I could put the monster truck shell back on, I do have Sunny right here that is just about ready to go. And that's one of the main things I'm doing now, is attaching the shell to the tote, and that's coming up. There are several things I want to talk about, but since I just mentioned that, we'll keep with it. The old way I did it was to take these two screw holes here, put some tape over it, mark those 2 points with a Sharpie, put that on the tote, put a couple drill holes on them there, and voila, you're done. However, that involved me using a bit of foam as some padding in between to help absorb the shock between the shell and here. My very first original thought was to use these guys, which are the natural bumpers, and attach like that. But the fit wasn't great, and I thought the foam would be better because the foam would cover the entire thing. I also didn't like the idea of the 2 screws in the tower being wrenched around by the 2 screws here in the shell, which could get, this is just a piece of rubber here essentially, but if this was screwed into the tower, you could see that I could twist this around sideways, and I didn't necessarily want that twisting to transfer to the tower. However, I'm thinking about it, it could be the better way to go. So I got several of these extras. I'm going to cut one of that up and use it as a template. So rather than use a piece of tape with a couple marks on it, I'll just use this as a template and put marks directly on the Sunny shell here. When I do that, it'll be in another video, but I'm shooting it all now. Down here I've got a list of things that I've bought to modify all this. The pinion gear that I had bought initially, I had been thinking it would be useless, but I can use it on the 6S potentially if I don't like the pinion gear that's on that one. 6 amps in here, the foam is in the shocks. This is a 2-inch cut of foam back here. This is an 1.5 inch because the shocks themselves are actually different, so you got to use a different amount. The 2 crashes and flip overs that this has been through have bent the aluminum enough that this piece of brass, which was loose, is now jammed on there, whereas it used to slide like that. So I can definitely see myself needing to replace these, not often, but certainly regular enough, and next time I do it, I'll get a bigger piece of brass so that there's a bit more wiggle room in there to give the aluminum a bit more shock. And to keep them together, I've got this solid core. It's probably 10 gauge, maybe 12 gauge wire looped in there and then twisted off and tied in, and the entire thing weighs in at just about 6 pounds. I think I don't have the number in front of me, but it's at least 6. It's well under 7, well under 6.5 even. And with the shell that I'm about to show you in a second, that's about 4.5 now. And I'm hoping it won't go bigger than that. So all told, 10 pounds, definitely under 12. Anything else to show you on this aspect here? No? Alright, let's go to the next phase. And here we are with the Sunny Shell, as I'm calling it. That's SUNNY for the Sunrider base here in Southern California of the Rebel Legion. And because it's a hangar bay droid, this is adorned with the Hazard Squadron chevron of black and red. So looking around, the GoPro doesn't do close focus or autofocus very well, so this may be somewhat blurry, but I'm definitely liking a lot more of the green that I'm seeing. Lately it looks a lot more natural to me. This is probably about 90% done overall. These two holes are something I have to address still. I may put another circle shape on the face here, but pretty much everything's done except for doing a dirt pass on the weathering. There's not a lot of point in painting a lot of this plastic because it won't accept the paint anyway. Yes, these are little desktop wheels set in the top here and left to spin. They're a little tighter than I would have hoped. Some more free spinning ones would have been good, but that's the way that goes. This guy here and this well down there are both the same kind of ink cartridge holder. Couldn't tell you, it's Canon something maybe. These two pieces here screwed together are actually the feet of like a box fan or something like that, so I can pick that up from there. What else? Also the two actual feet from a box fan screwed in. A couple M3 ferrules, maybe they're M4s. The Rock'em Sock'em boxing toy thing. We'll see more of that in a second when we get to the back. This is the bottom of a dollar store car toy. The Rebel Blaster Nerf toy. It's not a Nerf toy, but it's one of those DH7 Nerf things, and this is actually a cap. This is actually a super glue cap right there. Over here, rubber foot off of a walking cane, another rubber hose with probably a Dawn dish soap top holder on there. The silver thing, if I can pull that out, the nacelle off an Enterprise. I think that was a sushi set that I had got sent, and it was kind of silly. What do we got down here? We have some dish soap containers, and you'll see the back of those. More feet from fans, and glue caps. These are all friction fit in right now. These are snapped in and these are screwed in, as you can see there. Let's flip around to the other side. Paint caps with some M3 ferrules in there. Again, the glue caps. And this is a deodorant cap situation with the screw that goes up the bottom, and then, right, you see that? And what else? Nothing else on the back. Oh, the front. So again, the underbody of a dollar store toy of some kind. And then here, this is the basket off of a spray gun of some sort. The spring looking thing with the metal back is like a dish sink situation going on, and then all the holes that would accept them have M4 ferrules sticking through with a single screw going through the middle to hold it in there. Then on the back, plastic clip. What was that from? Something computer related. Leg from some kind of window decoration screwed in place. A little baby salt shaker cap of some kind. This held drill bit screwdriver heads, some split loom, and then these two red guys are the actual Action Packer doodads. Ooh, some glue here. I got some paint chipping there that I'm gonna have to glue into place. Oh, and this bin here, I'll show you that on the back side. And a GoPro mount. So, flipping this over. So you can see the Palmolive caps here. These actually pop up and down. Top of the glue cap, I have to figure out, right here on this guy, you might see I'd be able to spear through there, but the plastic is so thin that even if I put a set screw in there, it would still protrude through, and I don't know that I want that to happen. Paint cap at the bottom of the ink cartridge. So this is the cap off of a outdoor solar panel light that you put on top of a like a stairway post kind of thing. Couldn't tell you a brand or anything, but it's a nice square device. Every single bolt in here has a little split ring on it to help hold the pressure in. Once I'm sure that I like everything, I'll either let the pressure off and red thread lock it, or I'll just slather some super glue on it as is. It's easy to get lost and forget which direction you're facing, so I've got forward, aft, port, starboard everywhere with arrows pointing forward, so I always remember which way I'm facing. Then if we back out here a little more, you might see something strange around the edges here. And those are nothing other than standard curtain frames. Light aluminum, slide into each other, and they really give a really nice stability here that could be favorable to the cause. So all of this is going to have their own videos on everything. This is just the overview and a recap as well of where things are at and where they're about to go. So thanks for watching. See ya.